Hi, today I'm going to show you how to create moving liquid using Tyflow and Phoenix FD. First you'll need to create a liquid grid, then a liquid source. Once you've done that, you'll need to go in to your standard package and pop in a Tyflow as well. Go into Modify while having Tyflow selected and enable Particle Interface. Also right click it, go to Phoenix FD Properties and tick Solid Object. Once you've done that, you can draw the object you want your liquid to come out of. So I'm just going to draw a box. Once you've done that, go to Modify, right click and convert it to an editable poly. Then select Polygon and select the face you're wanting the liquid to come out of. Then scroll down to the material ID and change it to 10. Also going to just move my box in a bit. So that the whole face is within the grid. Once you've done that, select the liquid source, go to Modify, scroll down to the Polygon ID, change that to 10 also, then select Add, and then select your box, so you're adding your box to the liquid. Then we'll need to draw in a Tyflow icon so that we can start to give birth and create the particles. So under the helpers, Tyflow icon, and draw your icon within the liquid. Then going to Modify, selecting the Tyflow and opening the editor. Then select birth and drag it in. And I'm going to change n to 1 and then 500 total. Then we'll need to add a position icon. Select or pick and then select your Tyflow icon. And then that will show up in the icons here. Then we need to add shape. I'm scrolling down to mesh, selecting 3D and selecting your 3D shape. I'm going to do a Sophia. Then by going into size and selecting scale, you can scale them up to appear larger, as you can see in the model space. First you'll need to go to display and change the display type to geometry, and then you'll see those form. Then just move your Ty icon up above the ground a little bit to get slightly bit of gravity there. Then we'll drag in a physics shape so our particles will fall onto it. Now what we'll need to do is create some walls around the grid, because the grid that's already here will only stop the liquid from falling out of it. It won't stop the spheres because it's not linked with the Tyflow. So what we'll do is we'll go back to our objects and we'll draw a box around each side. And then this will stop our spheres and particles from rolling out. Now what you'll need to do is select each of the boxes, walls, right click, object properties, untick renderable and tick display as box, then click OK, and that will go into sort of a see-through, so you can still see everything within the space. Then we'll need to pull in a physics collision, and then pick each of the walls we've just created. Then what you'll need to do is add a mesh, untick render only, then add a material ID, set the value to 5 and change the material ID to random. Then select your Phoenix grid, go to modify, and underneath grid for the X, Y and Z, you want to select jam both for all of them. Then under output, make sure you are saving it into a folder somewhere. So go to browse, I'm just going to pop it on my desktop, save. And scroll down and make sure velocity is ticked. And then under preview, you want to tick show mesh. And by scrolling down, you want to untick and disable the particle preview. Then we'll need to add in the physics fluid. Give it a name. So this Phoenix FD Liquid 001 is what I've named it here. And then select Auto Setup Phoenix FD Container. This will pop up and it's basically just enabling a few settings so that the two Tyflow and Phoenix FD work together. So select yes. The settings at default for now. We can come back in and edit them if we need to. We'll close off the Tyflow. Then once you've closed that, run the simulation by selecting play in the Phoenix FD start. And there you have it. As you can see, the liquid coming from the box is forming out into the particles where we've set that up. And the liquid will just keep continuing until it hits the end of the bar. As you can see, it's going through, and currently it's in its 60s and it can go up until 100. So it will keep flowing through. And we can hit stop. And as you roll through, you'll be able to see that on all different angles as well. What you can also do to play around with the settings is going back into the Tyflow editor, changing the velocity, pressure and buoyancy settings here. So if we change them to say 0.5, so you can change around all the settings there as you wish. Then you can exit out of it, then pop it down to whichever view you're wanting, and then run the simulation, and you'll be able to see it's a bit faster this time because we've upped the speed there and the velocity. And that's it. As you can see, the fluid is coming out of the fluid source, pushing through to the particles we created using Tyflow. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.